We're not going to
Good
see
morning.
you on the red carpet, are we? There you are at home.
There are no red carpets.
There's our signal that things are not as they have been in years past, but we're really glad that you're in with us, Eli, to look to 45 years, the 45th year of TIFF. How's it going to work this year?
It's a good question, and that's something that we're all going to be watching. I mean, speaking of watching, this is exactly how most of my festival experience is going to be. I am going to be watching films, but they're all going to be digital screenings. The festival is going to be a mixture of digital screenings, which you can buy tickets to, actually available across Canada. So if you're in Vancouver, you can attend TIFF and watch movies at home. And in the city, it will have a mixture of some outdoor screenings, some drive-in screenings, and actual in-theater screenings, mostly at Toronto's TIFF Bell Lightbox. Now, in that building, they've changed their policy. They are now going to requiring patrons to wear masks, and they've closed the concession stands, so you're not going to be munching on popcorns, and they're really going to be encouraging people to be wearing those masks while they're in theaters. They have drastically cut down on the tickets available, only about 50 seats in most of those theaters built for hundreds, so a lot of space presumably around you, and less films in general. There's only about 50 films plus some sales titles at TIFF this year. Usually we get upwards to 300, as you mentioned. No red carpets for me to attend, no TIFF parties. Instead, there will be, video press conferences and TIFF ambassadors. So celebrities will be visiting us, but on our screens.
On the screen. Although, as you report that, it strikes me, sometimes people outside of Toronto complain all the attention we pay to TIFF because they can't be there to see the films. You just made the very good point that this is now actually something that the whole country can join in virtually, watching those screenings, as you say, so they can see those big, buzzy films that you always talk about, Eli. What do you have your eye on this year?
Well, let's take a look. I heard you getting excited, and I cannot wait to watch this. David Byrne's American Utopia. I mean, considering everything that's happening in the world, what a time to see this. This is based on the smash Broadway play. It is David Byrne kind of reimagining his Talking Heads song catalog, these amazing kind of choreographed performances. And to make it even better and more relevant, it's directed by Spike Lee. And so, I mean, this remarkable filmmaker, do the right thing. I don't know what happens when you put him and David Byrne together, but I am excited. One Night in Miami is a new movie directed by Watchmen. Cassius Clay, Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, and Malcolm X sit down at a bar. That looks fantastic. The Father stars Anthony Hopkins as a man battling dementia, and it's shot from that character's point of view. Aquila's Escape is from Charles Officer, Canadian director, stars Saul Williams. First, it's a new feature film. He's known also for documentaries. Very excited to see that. And Inconvenient Indian is a documentary based on the book by Thomas King, directed by Michelle Latimer. This is one of the titles I'm most excited about at TIFF. It is a stunning look at Indigenous relations in Canada. And Michelle Latimer is also the showrunner of Trickster, which will also be in the spotlight, the new show on CBC about an Indigenous teen. That will also be at TIFF. So big.
I didn't hear the last of your question, but it's something to watch for, I think, for sure, Trickster on CBC. So fewer in number, Eli, but, I mean, the quality looks incredible, as always, and we know TIFF traditionally is that starting line for the Oscar race. But the festival must be challenged in that this year, given everything with it being held virtually.
It is a challenge. And, I was talking to an awards watcher in Los Angeles, and he was saying that the fall festivals just simply don't have the traction this year because of the timing. Take a look at what David Poland has to say.
It's not happening because they moved the Academy Awards. Again, the Academy, I still have no really good explanation why they moved it by 2 months. But by moving it 2 months, they made the season 2 months longer, which meant that starting in September is really too early, because then you have to maintain the race for another 2 months.
But there is an advantage for Canadian filmmakers. Take a listen to Madeline Sims-Fewer, who is the director, writer, and star of Violation.
I think it's definitely this scaled down TIFF with only roughly 50 films and only 3 films in the Midnight Madness section. There's definitely more attention on the film than there may have been in previous years.
So some upsides and some downsides of this TIFF like none other, Heather.
Well, you don't need to get your red carpet wardrobe ready this year. I suppose that's part of the appeal. But I'm looking forward to your thoughts on the films, and it sounds like there will be some exceptional ones as always. Eli, thank you very much for this morning. Really appreciate it. Eli Glasner.